I now call to order the regular scheduled meeting of the Board of Zoning Appeals. Notice to the public the time, the date, the place, and the agenda for this meeting was given as a legal notice on October 1st, 2019 in the Aiken Standard. Notice to contiguous property owners were mailed, signs posted on or about October the 2nd, 2019. Notice of the meeting was sent to the the city webpage, the city clerk for posting on the finance administration notice board, and the municipal building notice board at least 24 hours before this meeting. Agenda sheets were mailed or emailed to all interested parties. As a reminder, it is unlawful for any person giving testimony to this board knowingly providing false information that's according to Section 22-9 of the Aiken Municipal Code. Each infraction is a separate offense with a penalty of up to 30 days in jail and or a fine of $1,092.50. To the board, you have received copies of the meeting minutes from the September 24th, 2019 board meetings. Are there any corrections or additions?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we accept the minutes of the September 24th, 2019 meeting. Second.
It's been properly moved and second that the minutes for the September 24th, 2019 meeting be accepted as presented. Do we have any discussion? Hearing none, those in favor of the motion show by raise of the right hand. Those opposed, same sign. The motion is carried unanimously. In addition, anyone addressing the board, we ask that you occupy the podium in front of us. Please state your name and your address. Anyone that wish to receive copies of today's presentations, you may contact the planning department by phone. When addressing the board, please state your name and your address. Final orders.
Final orders from last meeting, I will be passing to my left.
Thank you. The final orders is the order of old business. We move directly into new business. I call your attention to application 2930000. That's a petition from the City of Aiken's Park and Recreation and Tourism Department requesting a variance for a change in the zoning for an electronic reader board on an existing sign at Smith-Hazel Community Center, 400 Kershaw Street Northeast. To the city, has this been properly posted?
It has.
Any inquiries that you wish to share with the board?
None additional than what were included in the packet.
Thank you. Presentation.
What you have before you this evening is a request from the Parks, Recreation, and Tourism Department to upgrade the existing legal non-conforming sign at the Smith-Hazel Community Center, which is, the sign is generally located at the northeast corner of Abbeville Avenue and Kershaw Street, northeast. There's an approximately 40 square foot freestanding sign at that location with a manual reader board. The community center, or at least a portion of the community center, as well as the sign itself, are located on right-of-way. So the sign is legal non-conforming in two ways. It is on right-of-way, which we do not allow in most cases, and it is above the residential size allowance for a sign under the current code, which is roughly 24 square feet if it's an RS, residential single family district. The sign is about 25 years old, the current sign. What is being requested is to swap out the existing manual reader board with an electronic reader board. You have in your packet a rendering of what that would look like, and it would actually, at least given the rendering, decrease the proportion of the reader board as part of the sign. With regard to legal nonconforming signs, we allow on any legal nonconforming sign up to 80% of the face of the sign to be changed. However, one of the issues from which relief is granted is 4.4.7.E.2.E, which says that an electronic reader board may not be added to a nonconforming sign. Additionally, typically, governmental, tax-exempt, schools, churches, and like institutional uses are allowed a reader board in all zone districts if it faces an arterial. These two streets do not classify as arterials. They don't have the minimum traffic counts required to meet that requirement. So, however, in the city's efforts to try to modernize some of these facilities, the park and recreation facilities, and to be able to promote the different activities there, Parks, Recreation, and Tourism is seeking relief from that, both of those two requirements. Again, that's 447 E2A and E. The applicant has stated, and this is similar to a previous case heard by this board, to have a shut-off time in the evenings where the sign would essentially go dark the same time the community center did, which is roughly 9 o'clock in the evening. With that said, staff would be glad to answer any additional questions.
Yes, I have one.
Brandon?
Refresh my memory on the number of copy changes or cycles the sign can go through every so many per minute, or how does it work?
The message may not change more than once every 10 seconds, and it cannot flash, scroll, animate, or move.
Okay.
So it's a static image change from one to another, no greater than once every 10 seconds.
Okay, but it can do so every 10 seconds.
That's correct.
Okay, so there's no variance being sought from that particular part.
That's correct.
Question. The city is now spending major money to develop the swimming pool at Smith-Hazel. That will be, as far as I know, the only swimming pool in the city of Aiken. Why not a sign on the major arterial, Hampton Avenue and Kershaw?
I would defer to the department that runs the facility, which is your applicant.
Other questions from the board to the city? Thank you. Do we have a representative from the City of Aiken Department, Park, Recreation, and Tourism?
Hello, my name is Rashika Gaines. My address is 414 Forest Circle, New Ellerton, South Carolina, 29809. Representative for the City of Aiken for the Smith-Hazel Recreation Center, Marquee. As has been stated with Mr. Ryan, over the years, we've just been trying to upgrade some of the actual signage that we do have. As you see, as you go through the city itself, people are going more digital now. With that said, we just have so many programs and events that occur, and at times changes happen to where it's so much more easier for a digital reader board than it is for manual. Also, it's more safer where you don't have staff actually out there holding it up, and it can also cause, an accident occur. Smith-Hazel's been there since 1953. It's been there a long time, and as you stated, they are getting a pool as well, which would be great, and it'll also be a good amenity as a marquee to be able to add on there the swim lessons, some of the water aerobics that we look forward to offering when the pool is actually installed. It was a great question of could we locate it on that corner, and I'm just not sure. I'm not sure enough about, I don't know enough about the ordinance and if it can be located there. But I think the marquee being changed out, like it has been for Odell Weeks as well, and also with the Leslie B. Price Center, it was installed as well as a marquee. So we're just trying to be just as similar as possible and providing the same signage for all locations.
Ms. Gay, may I now direct another question to the city? If they elect to put a sign on the Hampton Avenue, will we have to get DOT approval? Or concurrence?
No, not necessarily. So the park and community centers have two different parcels. I have the map up here. You can kind of see where they're at. One small parcel, which kind of includes the basketball court and a portion of the community center. One parcel that includes the majority of the park, playground, pool, tennis courts, open space. The parking and I believe the gym are located on right-of-way and as well as the main entrance to the community center. So you have a portion that's on right-of-way, a portion that has its own parcel, or two portions that have their own parcel. The sign code allows you one sign per parcel of record. So if there are a suitable location on the property that is at Hampton Avenue, there would be an opportunity for a second sign in the future. This would not prevent them from being able to have a second sign at that location.
The property does extend all the way back to Hampton, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Further question from the board to Ms. Gain?
Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have others to speak to the variance requests? Final call, others to speak to the variance requests? Seeing, hearing none, the chair will entertain a motion so we can enter a period of discussion.
Mr. Chairman,
You-
I move that we accept application number 20-93003 with the following conditions. Variance to sections 4.4.7.E.2.A and 4.4.7.E.2.E of the zoning ordinance to install an electronic reader board where a manual reader board currently exists on an existing legal non-conforming sign on right-of-way generally located at 400 Kershaw Street Northeast, that the sign comply with all other requirements of Chapter 4, Article 4 of the zoning ordinance regarding signs, with the exception that the electronic reader board shall not be operational during specified hours. That the final order run with the use of the property and be recorded at the Aiken County RMC office. I feel like it certainly meets all the criteria, and that it would definitely be an asset not only to the community but also the people who are operating the community center, because to get everything up there on that board would be phenomenal. I mean, it would just, you can't get all the different activities, and certainly would be more convenient and more applicable to the community to be able to see it on the reader board.
Mr. Chair, I'll second. If
Been
there
pro-
hasn't been one already.
No.
Yeah, second.
Bud seconded. It's been properly moved and second that we approve the variance request. Do we have any discussion?
The only discussion I have is should the hours be specified, or, I mean, that's kind of loosey-goosey there, isn't it?
Right, so the applicant has indicated that the sign would be on a timer to shut off at 9:00 PM, which is the same time the building closes. I think the one question mark in there is when it turns back on.
Correct. Correct.
So I think it probably would be a good idea to be able to specify that.
Yeah, because again, my only sensitivity would be it'll only be operational during the, for consideration of the neighbors and all that other stuff going on. So how can we get at that, or,
Would the city address that?
Well, we had to call Ms. Gaines back.
Rashika Gaines again, I need to state that, okay.
Yes.
All right, so Rashika Gaines, so what we would do is the center is open from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. So what we could do is we could set, it's with Daktronics, it's hopefully the actual software we're using. We could set the time where it would come on at 8 and it would shut off at 9. And then on Saturday, we open 9 to 5, and we could do 9 to 5 there. And then on Sunday is 1 to 5.
I'm good with all that.
Thank you.
Did
Nes-
we not, with the Leslie Price Center, have it come on an hour before it opened so that people would know of an event?
Would you address your question to this? I don't recall.
Mr. Chairman, yeah, I believe it was 30 minutes before it opened is what we ended up settling on. It was either 30 minutes or an hour, and I don't have that in front of me, but it was just prior, it was prior to opening.
Because if there's an event going on at 8 o'clock and people would come before then, it would be beneficial, I think, to have it on ahead of time.
Would that present a hardship for the city to have it 30 minutes prior to?
I would say at least 30 minutes to an hour before. I would say, I think the cutoff would be fine. During the evenings, like on a Saturday, people are still going through the residential area. So to be able to still see the sign, up and going until maybe 7 or 8 o'clock, I think would still be great. But if we had to shut it off at the time that the facility closed, we would shut it off at 5.
Any further questions, Ms. Gaines? Thank you. Any other discussion? Are you suggesting, Nancy, that become as an amendment to the motion?
I would like the motion maker to possibly amend that.
Consider,
But we just really need to finish, just round out the second requirement, specified hours, and then just kind of round that out somehow.
I will leave it up to the city in rewriting the, any further discussion?
Mr. Chairman, could I get clarification on whether, and this may be, I think, a motion or an amended motion, if the board were to wanted to begin operation at the time of opening or a time period prior to the time?
Prior.
Okay.
Expound on section 6, where you have the shut-off time at 9 p.m., but 30 minutes prior to opening at
Okay.
8.
Say a minimum of 30 minutes. If the staff wants it an hour or whatever, but I would say maybe a minimum of 30 minutes prior to.
I wouldn't say minimum because,
They could turn it on.
yeah, it's gonna be dark, it'll be dark here,
Yeah.
in the morning at 7, 8 o'clock, I don't, I think 30 minutes is good prior to.
Yeah.
So based on the hours that have been stated, that would be Monday to Friday, 7:30 to 9:30 specifically, that would bracket.
Or to 9,
To 9.
9.
But the point of, for example, a half an hour, well, during the week, 9 o'clock, but for the Saturday and Sunday, having it a little bit longer so people knew about the events the following day, to extend that.
Do you think it would be more helpful if we just utilize like the same time that the Leslie B. Price Center is, the hours that they're utilizing?
Don't know what they are.
Yeah, we're not sure exactly
Sure,
what
okay.
those hours are.
So could we do 8 to 9, Monday through Friday? And that would give us an hour prior, 7 to 9, that'd give us an hour prior to the facility opening? And then we do 7 to 9, so we
7 to
either
9,
come up
Monday
at
through
7.
Friday,
So
then-
you got an hour there, people that's coming through school and all that, and then it shuts off at 9, which is in the
Right.
building. And then on the weekends, we would do 8.
You adjust to your weekend hours, yeah.
Yes, sir. And then on Saturday, we'll do 8 a.m., so to come up at 8, the building opens at 9, it closes at 5.
Right.
And then.
Sunday.
And then on Sunday, it will be
Noon to-
12 to 5.
Gotcha.
Of clarification, so it could stay on Saturday later? What's the shut-off time? Is it still 9?
I thought we were going, to do 8 to 5 on Saturday. It closes at 5 on Saturday.
Okay,
Laid out what she wanted.
Monday through Friday till 9.
I guess I misheard her earlier. I thought she wanted it to stay on longer on the weekend so people could see what's coming up tomorrow in the evening. Did you not say that?
I did state that when I was here prior. Yes, I did. Yes.
Mr. Chairman, maybe a recommendation from staff, just for the ease of predictability from the staff standpoint, maybe just a static, in this case, 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock
Yeah.
every day
Yes.
might be the more simplified
Yeah.
way to
And that we
regulate
could-
that, which is similar to what was done at the Price Center.
Be consistent with the price. That's right. Right. Thank you. Do we have any further discussion?
Do we need to make an amendment stating those hours to the motion at this point?
I think we should be in order to make an amendment to the motion so that we be clear about the direction we give to planning.
Okay, recommend that the hours of the electronic board be from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Sunday.
Is that okay with the motion maker?
I'm the motion maker. Oh, you mean the seconder?
I'll second the amendment.
I mean, second, yeah. Would you reread the motion before we take a vote, please?
You want me to give it a try? All right, so we have an approval of a variance. The variant to the following conditions: variance to section 447E2A and 447E2E of the zoning ordinance to install an electronic reader board where a manual reader board currently exists on existing legal non-conforming sign on right-of-way generally located at 400 Kershaw Street Northeast. Part 2, that the sign comply with all other sign requirements of Chapter 4, Article 4 of the zoning ordinance regarding signs, with the exception that the electronic reader board shall not be operational between, again, in this case, I guess, 9:01 p.m. and 6:59 a.m., if we were to keep that in the same context. And that the final order run with the use of the property and be recorded at Aiken County RMC.
Right. You've heard the reading of the motion. Those in favor of said motion should by raise of the right hand. The motion is carried unanimously. Since that is the only item coming before this board, the chair will now entertain a motion for adjournment.
I so move.
Mr. Chairman,
Nancy?
never mind. I was looking at I was trying to make sure of next month's meeting. Never mind.
Do we have a second to the adjournment motion?
A second.
Karen, second. We stand adjourned.
Thank you.